Hey, how you doing? Hey, Nicole. Hey, Catherine. Daisy's out running around. She got a chicken breast from Burger King. Well, the river's a lot down from yesterday. Oh yeah, she's having a good time. Yeah, it's a nice park. This water was up here the other day. They had some bags of sand here to keep it from eroding. They're still here. Yep. Good girl, Dazer. Crabapple tree. Beautiful day today. Hey, Zach, how you doing? Pretty good. I'm taking Daisy for a walk. I got all those questions answered by Marguerite, so I'll be uploading that when I get back. Those look like some white-breasted nuthatches. Can't right see them good enough. They're out catching bugs. No, those are actually martins, purple martins. I've never seen them perch like that. Yeah, they're catching bugs and then going up and. Oh, wait a second. Now let me see that fly. Yeah, that's what they are. See them swimming down, getting a drink, catching bugs. Where'd Daisy go? Oh, there she is. I interviewed the people on the street. Already did it. Yeah, Daisy's mixed something. I'm not really sure what. Tell you the truth, she looks like bulldog in the chest. Kind of got a bulldog attitude, but kind of a lopso face, poodle hair. It's a good question. I'm gonna get that DNA test. I never get around to doing it. Everybody's always asking me what kind of dog. I'm curious myself. I really don't know. She weighs 23, real muscular. Great hunter. I mean, I'm not talking about just sniffing bushes. I'm talking about hunting. She can get super aggressive. Yeah, thanks. She's got a real, like, thick body. If you see her from the front, you'll see what I mean about her chest. I really don't know what she is. That curled up tail. Yeah, she's a really cool dog. Smart as a whip. See, if you see her from the front, maybe you'll have an idea. She's real thick in the chest. And she's had that same body since a puppy. It looks like she's fat, but she's super muscular. But a big torso and these little muscular legs. Yeah, she's a super great dog. Really smart. No problem. Try and get a front shot of her. You'll see what I mean. See how she walks too? Kind of like a bulldog. Hey, Daisy. Hey, Daisy. I'm trying to get in front of her. Yeah, her hair wouldn't be that soft if I let it grow out. Her hair will get really long. Hey, Daisy. What are you doing? Come over here, hon. Come over here. Daisy girl. Hey. You hear me? You hear me, hon? Yeah, yep. Cross country trail, yep. Daisy, look it over here. Hey, look it over here. Daisy, look it over here. I want to show them how big your chest is, hon. You see? Bow-legged in the front. Good girl. Good girl. That's a good girl. Good girl. See your chest? It's real wide and like the bow legs. I don't know. I'll be curious to guess. I would say maybe like third generation bulldog, Lopso. She does some like Lopso behavior, likes to crush her face in your hand when you scratch it. They're known for that. She's real protective, territorial, always at the foot of the bed, will get between me and a new person. Doesn't seem to like men, older men. Hey, Superwoman, how you doing? Pretty good. Just taking Daisy for a little walk. She loves chasing things too. And being chased, either one. When she was a puppy, like before she started getting her adult weight, She could jump from the ground and lick you in the face. You feeling good, hon? Her hair grows fast too. I gotta give her a haircut about every 2 weeks. And if I let it all grow, you couldn't see her eyes. Yeah, she's a good dog. I mean, there's so many things I've said just once to her, like stay. She'll stay. I said it one time. Believe it or not, I go out of my way to take her to this park. It's way out of the way, but she really likes it here for some reason. And I've taken her to places that are just as open, nobody around, it's not the same, so I bring her here. She's such a good dog. I let her do anything. I never have to discipline her for anything. She's got allergies, I know. You know, Zach, they actually had people complain about this being a cross-country track. Yeah, I've been lucky though. All the dogs I've had, I don't have to have on a leash. I mean, they won't run away from me. It's not like one of those blue tick healers that Amish have a lot of them. Or one of those herding dogs that you could take in New York City and it'd walk right next to you. But she won't run off or anything like that. There's a honeybee. Wish I saw more of those around. Saw one around here the other day. Be curious where their hive is. There's a bunch of them. Yeah, shoes. There's honeybees all over here. That's cool. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a bumblebee. Oh yeah, I was at a pit rescue today. It's kind of neat. Yeah, there's all sorts of honeybees here. This is great. I can't tell you the last time I saw this. They're really getting this pollen. Man, there's bees all over here. This is the first time I've seen this in years. Look at them, bees all over the place. There's a baby bumblebee. Bumblebees are actually better pollinators. Oh, look at these big bumblebees. That one on the top left's actually a wasp. That's cool. Yeah, this is really neat to see. This is great. It's made my trip out here. I have not seen bees flying around like this, and I look for them too. Wish I had my macro lens. Take some nice shots of them. Yeah, bees are great. I was really into beekeeping big time. I had 100 hives at one time. But I didn't have luck with them up where I live now. I'm guessing now, the deck angle's too low in the winter. I don't get enough winter sun between the tall trees. And if you put them out in the field, there's all sorts of wildlife that'll go after them. So it just didn't work out for me. But when I set up at my next place, I'm going to get into beekeeping again. There's a beetle getting some pollen right there, a beetle. Right there. You know, there's a lot of things that pollinate plants besides bees. And another thing too, you know, you don't really, unless it's commercial pollination that gets the attention of this bee catastrophe that's going on. Because if, bees weren't even in the United States, honeybees, until about 1840. It's when you're trying to have 1,000 acres of watermelon and pickles. There's no way that that's going to pollinate naturally, so you have to set up bees around there. But it's not natural in any sense of the word. The wind does a great job in pollinating as well. But they're trying to sell it to the public as, oh no, the bees, what are we going to do? No pollination. That's commercial pollination. Yeah, there are bees all over the place. Look at this bee's got his pollen sacs filled. His pollen sacs are filled on both legs. I hope you could see that. Right there. See that, the pollen in both legs? He's loaded to the gills. Orange pollen. That's a good source of food for bees. Yeah, this is a wild bee loaded with pollen. It's so great. Wow. I could watch these things all day. I wish I lived near here. I would watch them all day. A bee in the wild. Yeah, see, the zoom sucks on this phone. And if I get too much closer, I'll try to. If I get too much closer, it's blurry. See, there's a fly. He'll pollinate too, accidentally. Oh, here it is. Here's this bee right here. See the orange sacs on his legs? They're filled with pollen. Wait till he turns around, you get a good look. See the orange on his legs? Yeah, jammed up with pollen. That is so awesome. Daisy, there's bees pollinating over here. Yeah, bees are fascinating. When you think that they make that comb, beautiful comb, in the pitch dark, it doesn't even seem possible. The way they navigate, the distance they cover. I had a beehive on the 32nd floor of a skyscraper in Chicago. Best hive I ever had. And the Langstroth hive, the kind of hives that you probably, if you're not a beekeeper, you see everywhere. It's the worst possible design for bees. You couldn't put an insect in a worse environment in its life. Drafty old piece of shit. Bees would never draw a hive like that naturally. You want a Warre hive, W-A-R-R-E. It's not any good for commercial extraction of honey, but it's the best way to do it. It's natural. And I'll tell you another thing I think is a bunch of bullshit. They say that bees will produce excess honey. I don't think that's true either. What in nature does anything incorrectly after all these years? That's just another justification to go in there, take all the honey and replace it with high fructose corn syrup. That's what they do, beekeepers. And a lot of beekeepers' places, they don't even give a shit if the bees die. And another thing, transporting insects, even if it's a monarch butterfly. He's looking for some milkweed. Yeah, it metabolizes better. Honey. And there are just bees up the ass around here. God damn it, I wish I had my macro lens. I mean, this is important enough for me to go do a 400-mile round trip and come back here and photograph it. There's bees everywhere. There's a bumblebee. If you ever see honeybees too, they don't want to pollinate certain things. Apple blossoms, no problem. But if you ever see where they pollinate blueberries with honeybees, they almost look pissed off. Their feet get caught, stuff like that. They're more expensive, and all of them die but the queen going into the winter. Bumblebees, but they just keep trucking on through. You know, from a physics standpoint, a bumblebee shouldn't even be able to fly. I did want to get bumblebees, but it didn't make sense. See, now this is all, I don't see any bees on this. I bet it's not ready yet for some reason, not in the sun. Oh, there's a couple. There's another beetle. I could watch bees like all day. Just love bees. But I had them 3 years in a row where I live now. And they died every goddamn year. And I even made insulated covers for them. Now that can backfire on you too. But I don't think it did with me, because we had record cold. And it was basically the springtime that got them. You know, we'd have these warm days in February and March, and then it'd get really cold again. And the kiss of death is moisture. Even though I drilled air holes at the top of the hive, when that drips down in between the frames, it's game over. And then you get a cold snap and it freezes. There's no way around that. I mean, they can only take so much stress. I hope you guys, if you guys are ever interested in beekeeping, I got a lot of good resources and ways to do it. It's really fun. And everybody thinks it's like so hard to learn. It's not. Even if you took a beehive, set a hive up, and did nothing, just let it go, you're not going to really hurt anything. I hear something back in here. Yeah, I love this so much. This has made my day. Bees everywhere. Oh, look at here. Bunches of grasshoppers. Hey Daisy, come here, hon. Come here, Dazer. There's people over there on that park bench. Come here, Daisy. Come on over here, this way. Go this way. Come on. I don't 100% trust her with people. Come on. Women I do. Kids, no problem. But adult men, they reach down to pet her and they got her cornered or something. I think she'd bite their finger. Come on. Going this way. I'm going bye-bye then. Leave you here. You're supposed to have your dog on a leash here anyway. So I could get a ticket. I've never even, had them come up to me. I usually pick the slow times, although Saturday isn't slow, but I'd just say I didn't know for the first time and then probably never do it again. Come on, Daisy. Come on, hon. Get over here. Atta girl. Atta girl. Hey, Catherine, fire one. Yeah, it's a nice park, really is. Come on. What's that, James? Yeah, Daisy's not listening too good today. Probably gave her too much of a chicken breast. Yeah, I think you're right about that, Rick. I mean, one thing that I'm a little suspect about, and that is people think that, if you use honey within 25 miles of where you live, it's going to help with your allergies. I don't know about that. I mean, I have heard every damn crazy thing honey's supposed to do you could imagine. Now, what is this guy pointing at over here? Hope he's got a dog running around. You know what's cool about this place too is they don't mow everything down. That wasn't always this way. You know, as times went on with managing places, they've realized that if all this goldenrod was cut down, these bees wouldn't have anything. So it's nice, really. See all this? This used to be all mowed flat. No, well, Rick, that's not really true. They say that, and they say they found honey in Egyptian tombs. Yeah, I don't doubt that, but I guarantee you wouldn't have wanted to eat it. I don't believe that it never spoils. I've tasted 10-year-old honey. You thought you'd die if you ate more than a drop. What's nice is it never dries out. It actually absorbs moisture. Beeswax is very interesting as well. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, it's really interesting. They've got some really good honey. I've bought some occasionally from Hawaii. I'll tell you one thing, you know, they busted a place in Michigan, gave them a $3 million fine about 10 years ago. There's a huge black market for honey that comes from China. Royal jelly too. I think that royal jelly is a bunch of bullshit too for human beings. I don't believe it. Oh, no kidding, huh? Americans, huh? I was just talking to the clerk, the afternoon clerk. Look at bees everywhere. The afternoon clerk at the place I'm staying, and she was telling me that she just got back from a 4-day trip in Jamaica. She said they told them, they gave them pep talks the day they checked in. Do not go outside the resort. I guess they've been picking off tourists down there too for fun. Yeah, Canadian tourists. Yeah, I cut up through there before and went to Quebec. Been to Arcadia National Park, stuff like that. I mean, I think the coast is like beautiful in Maine, but I mean, my opinion, other than the waterfront in Maine, it's not that exciting. It's just like interior Alaska. I've been everywhere in Alaska. Everywhere. Top, east, west, south, Aleutian Islands, Barrow. And once you get in interior Alaska, it doesn't really look that much different than anywhere else in the summer. Yeah, I never followed that Jamaica thing. I was on a cruise ship one time and they stopped there for a day. My girlfriend got her hair braided. And we were with another couple. Both the other couple, they were attorneys. And you know those stupid asses bought marijuana and put it in their suitcase and brought it back home? Oh, 2 beaches, huh? Oh, no kidding. Really? Yeah, isn't that true? Fairbanks, man. I mean, Fairbanks is okay. But, you know, when you consider those winters, and another thing, if you lived in Alaska, you'll know this, huge crime and drug problems. I don't know who in the hell would want to, hey, Fortnite, thanks. I don't know, unless you had a job that sent you there, I don't know why anybody would live in Fairbanks. I would just go crazy there. Even Mount McKinley, Denali, Wonder Lake, that's about it. Other than that, it looks like this. You know, minus the mountain, of course, and 95% of the time that's in the clouds. Honestly, my favorite place was the Aleutian Islands. Valdez. I liked Barrow too, but you could go batshit crazy up there in about a week. Man, I didn't realize it when I went up there, but you can get socked in there for a couple weeks, no problem, because of the fog. It was like Back then, I went up there like 20 years ago for about a 3-year period. I traveled all over, and it was like $300 a night in a bed and breakfast back then. It wasn't a bed and breakfast, but it was kind of like when the Eider Inn, I think it was called. Come on, Daisy. Come on. Good girl. Yeah, but if anybody that's never been to Alaska, I took the cruise too in Alaska because you're just not going to see all that coastal stuff other than on a cruise ship unless you want to take one of those transport ferries, which I checked into. And I wasn't that interested in that. I mean, cruise ship sucks, but an Alaskan cruise ship is not like one going to the Caribbean. It's not a bunch of jack-offs getting drunk. Really, a lot of cheap waterside property. But I'll tell you, that'd be about the only place waterside property's cheap. Even down here, like near Detroit, or up where I live, Taos, they kill you on property tax if you got a place in the water, even if it's an inland lake. I just don't get it. I mean, they do less. I know it's based on value, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, I mean, the Caribbean cruise, it's all right once in a while. I'll tell you another thing, too. If you're like an older person or you've been around a while and you've experienced a multitude of dining, fine dining, mediocre dining, barbecue joints on the road, if you're driving down through Mississippi, you get a good idea what good food is and bad food. I think cruise food sucks. I think it's nothing but a big old cheap buffet type China buffet with pure shit food. The seafood they serve you is just like almost like bait. I was on one of those damn things, a 4-day cruise, the Dolphin Cruise Line, one time about 30 years ago. And thank God it was only a 4-day cruise, because the first day there, I saw a cockroach run across the top of fake imitation crab, and that did it for me. I didn't feel like eating the whole time there. Truffles, yeah, you get a lot of those. Come here, Daisy. And just all the food I thought was like shit. No, not on a typical cruise line. They say that on those travel channels and stuff, but If you took that same food and you opened a standalone restaurant and served the same stuff, you'd be out of business in a year. I'll tell you where the diners are good out east. New Jersey, New York. Hell, you can go in there at 4 o'clock in the morning and get a rainbow trout dinner, and it's good. And you got about 500 things to pick from. Yeah, cruise thing, I haven't been on one in a long time. I only took the Alaskan one because I knew it was about the only way I was going to see some of those areas. I'm glad I did. It was good, great. Got a lot of good photography. Yeah. Really, Kevin? Daisy, come here. Come here. Come here, hon. Yeah, I know. I always thought the food was really shitty. Yeah, I'll tell you, man, the last few years, I don't want to own anything, to tell you the truth. I don't want to own a house, office building, nothing. A lot of nice people out here. Couldn't have a better day to be out in the park. Oh, no kidding, huh? What cruise line did you take? You know, it's kind of like, I'm not saying you're like that, Kevin, but sit out in the parking lot of a Cracker Barrel sometime. Everybody that comes out of there thinks it's good food. They're all about 150 pounds overweight and really feel that they got their money's worth. Yeah, I'll get a shot of it. Yeah, try to. Well, maybe I won't get a shot of it. I'm down to 15% power. I'll try. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'll probably never take a cruise again. You know, I don't even have an interest to travel anymore, to tell you the truth. It's a pain in the ass flying anywhere. Take it easy, Lori. I wouldn't mind like something like that. I would like that. And they have some of these National Geographic sponsored tours, but that Caribbean shit, no thanks. What I like to do? Yeah. Well, you can see the sun, but it's still pretty high in the sky. So I'll try and get a picture of the sunset. I think I'm gonna go try out. You know one thing that I really like about this new camera? Most of the time, digital zoom. But on this one, it's actually excellent. I had disabled it because I never wanted it to go in the zoom mode, and just for the hell of it, turned it on. It's fantastic. Yeah, individual decision, that's right. One man's junk is another one's treasure. It's no shit. Yeah, down here in Township. This one's off Huron River, off 275, south of I-84. There's a series of these parks around southeast Michigan. Really excellent. Yeah, I'll do that, Frank. I got to practice. I dicked around with it the other night, and it was really good, and I hadn't even fooled with the zoom yet. It's funny, there's so many things. The only thing I don't like about this camera, yeah, same as Metro Beach, yep. The only thing I don't like about the camera is I don't know why they put the zoom where they did. It's just hard to finagle it left to right with your index finger. I'd much rather have an arm like Canon, but that's the only thing. Here's Dennis Hopper. Hey, that brings up, like you said, it's an individual decision. Yeah, you're exactly right. I'll give you an example. Like I skydived for a long time, and I'm a pilot for a long time. Kickbox, box. It's all calculated risk. But there is no way in hell I'm going to take the risk of riding a motorcycle. Not happening. So it's my individual decision. That guy on a motorcycle may say you are absolutely crazy jumping out of an airplane, but if you crunch the numbers, everything that I mentioned is relatively safe. Motorcycles are not. Oh, okay, Bless, thanks. Yeah, isn't that I just figured that out for the life of me. I cannot figure out how you can get a ticket for driving your car without a seatbelt, and then they pass a law where you don't need to wear a helmet riding a motorcycle, and you're entitled to the gold mine of lifelong medical. Yeah, but traveling on a commercial airliner is about as safe as it can get. I mean, aviation is so safe. But even personal aviation is safe if you stay in the confines of your aircraft limitations and your experience level. I mean, you know, this summer in Michigan, you know, it's been a record year for drownings. It's just unbelievable, all the people that go out without a life preserver. Can you believe that in Lake Michigan, paddling around a kayak? At Grand Haven Pier, a couple of them got swept off this year despite warnings. Big waves. Yeah, higher water levels, that's it, yep. I see these guys sometimes in the Detroit River in the winter, spring actually, when you have those heavy ice flows out there in these kayaks. I don't think they understand what little time you have to be in water that cold. And when there's that much ice in the water, I don't know how in hell they get a boat to you. Yeah, Kevin, yeah, I believe it. It's been in the paper left and right this year. I mean, anybody can understand like an accident, a true accident. But some of these, man, these people are just asking for it. I didn't catch that whole comment about watching the channel. Hey, Kevin, I forgot, where do you live? Yeah, it is. Look at some of those freighter videos of November sailing the Great Lakes. Looks like the Poseidon Adventure. So, Kevin, you probably keep up with a lot of the Michigan news. Do you remember when those two attorneys, Stempien was her last name. She was a judge's daughter. Stepien in Lake Huron. Look that up on Google. Very interesting. They found the boat running, and they were on their way up to Mackinac Island. They found her body, but they never found his. But it's a very interesting story. It was on a lot of crime shows. Yeah, it's really interesting. Stempien. I've read it for about the 10th time about a week ago. Really curious on your opinion. Hey, Ron, how you doing? Yeah, I love the sound of the ocean. There's a place, when I go to Florida, even though I got a bed and breakfast down there, I never stay there for a lot of reasons. But I like going down to a town called Indialantic. It's just south of Melbourne. It's so nice down there. Oh, thanks, very blessed. I don't believe half of it. You know, very blessed, the Bible references the bees quite a bit. I think I'm gonna go get a few airplane shots. Saturday's a bad day though. It's gonna be hard to read any comments, so I apologize. The sun's glaring. Ladies, I don't want you out that much when I can't hold it. That a girl right there. Yeah, it's really slow on planes landing on a Saturday, but I'd like to try out that Zoom. Yeah, really a great day today. Oh, no kidding, that's cool. I mean, the ocean is cool. Florida, if you're on the water. No. Old Ted Boomer bought a new Jeep, Kevin. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's nice. Yeah, bought a brand new Jeep. You know, his brother Ken died. I think I told you that. I think he got quite a bit of money. Well, you know, I wouldn't say close friend. I'd say good friend. I mean, that's whose house I'm over at when I'm watching those German Shepherds. And I talk to Louise every day, and I talk to Ted maybe every week or two, one way or the other. I mean, I went over there and drank, and, you know, we went out to dinner and stuff. He just called me the other day. He got a new grill he wants to try out. Ted's a really good guy. Yeah, I keep forgetting to watch that. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I can tell he doesn't want to talk about it, so I don't bring it up. He's promoting that blues stuff in West Branch now. I don't know if you're into blues. I did go to it last time. I didn't want to hurt his feelings. I sat at the table with him. But if you're into blues, you could catch like 1 million rides up to it. You ought to come up and visit. Yeah, I lived in Chicago for 13 years. I never went to one of those places. You know, I can't remember the name of the comedian, but that was a punchline, one of his jokes, that the worst day of his life was falling down a flight of stairs, breaking both arms and both legs, and waking up in the middle of a blues concert. That's about the way I feel about blues. Yeah, no kidding. That's what I'd want to do with it. I don't even like that Stevie Ray Vaughan stuff that great. Maybe once in a while. I don't think I would ever went to a concert. There's no way I'd go to a blues concert. Well, I shouldn't say that. I did go to a blues concert, Ted Boomer's. I just didn't have enough. Yeah, I do a lot of Detroit videos. Yeah, I sure do. Talking to me. I don't like country either. Like Kevin said, personal choice. That's it. Personal choice. Yeah, I like Alice in Chains, Joni Mitchell. I love Led Zeppelin. I don't really have any new groups I like. That's a sign of getting old. I think all the new music sucks. I'm starting to talk like an old man. I hope the planes are landing into the Northeast. I have to go up on the parking deck. There's no place to watch planes land worth of shit anymore. You got to pay for it. Recently, well, I got a bunch I'm going to put up when I get back, but last was a couple of weeks ago. But I'll put up a bunch of them when I get home. I'm spending the night tonight, go home tomorrow. You know, you would think Homeland Security and the airport police would bug me when I'm up here, but they never do. I mean, everything's legal. That's why I go here. I figure if I'm in the parking structure, can't I film airplanes? I've had them ask me maybe 2 times. I've had them really hassle me on the ground before, though, so I'm sure my name is in their computers. You know, Detroit's got relatively high speed limits around here. 45, man. If you're around an airport in Florida, you can forget it. I'm talking about 20 and 25. And they write tickets all day long. I like to see a Russian plane. The bad thing with doing this is I'm on the wrong side of the airport. I'm on the short runways to the right, heading into the Northeast. Which is all the smaller planes, which sucks, but it's better than nothing. Short-term parking. Correct. Well, I guess I'm under 7 feet. Being around the airport environment, it's interesting. Or know what's going to go down. Excuse me, I got to put my credit card in here.
Please insert credit card or press red button for it.
Daisy, can you hop over there, hon? You get over there. Come on, good girl.
Remove card. Thank you. Continue into lock. Please present same credit card at exit.
Busy here today. never usually go down this. Oh yeah, this is one of two parking lots. Yeah, I have too many hobbies. So, you know, I know it's going to be slow going, but yeah, you never know though. I mean, we could have done that, yeah. No, I know Saturday's a bad day. And it looks like they might bombardiers and the DC small DC-9 size planes. Maybe I'll go over and look at the terminal. Hey, Dad, you stay here. I'll be back in a little bit. Stay there, Daisy. girl. Oh yeah.
Reading doc. Please insert ticket or insert credit card. Remove credit card. Please wait. Press the red button for receipt. Thank you. Please collect your receipt. Thank you.
get out there too much. Too much traffic, huh? Too much traffic. Yeah. Come on, hon. Come on, little Betty. Come on. going on? That's how I am, travel alone. I went on every trip alone practically, including Alaska. Yeah, that's the way to go. I love it. That's cool. Here's a bunch of YouTube people living in vans. I don't think I'd want to live in it all the time, but I sure like driving it. I just turned 343,000 on this one. Yeah, pulling a trailer is nerve-wracking. See, down back here is the Middle Rouge River. This baby really gets cranking sometimes. You can hear it. They had this all cut down and grow back. Yeah, can't see it at all. Yeah, I love driving. I wouldn't like being a truck driver though, because I wouldn't like getting to a destination, not being able to, get off when I wanted and fool around. That kind of thing. I got about 2% left on my phone. So I'm not being rude, but it's going to power off pretty soon. My phone gets this low. I can't just plug it. Oh, that's cool. Man, ever since they made marijuana legal, you smell it everywhere. Yeah, I'll be getting an early start tomorrow. Probably get out of there